somebody wrote in and said how to find a happy balance, still eating the foods you love and not feel guilty about it. That's a question on all of our minds, I think. And my
Yes.
question as a coach would be, why do you feel guilty about eating that food in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, well, what like and also I think like why do you feel guilty? But also is there a pattern with like the types of foods that you feel like is quote unquote off limits and like
Mm,
sort of brings up that feeling of guilt? Like usually it'll be, I think you mentioned like cutting out carbs or like it's usually the stuff that we've told ourselves are quote unquote bad for us.
mhm.
But no one food or one meal is going to make you unhealthy, just like, working out once isn't going to make you fit. So it's like,
Yeah.
it kind of is just how do you stop feeling guilty? You just stop yourself from feeling guilty. Like when you can feel yourself starting to like beat yourself up and like have that internal dialogue, like, oh, I shouldn't be having this, you just have to cut it off,
Mhm,
right? You have to be like, refuse to let that thought come through. And it
mhm.
takes practice because sometimes it will feel like you're arguing with yourself like internally, but
Mhm.
that's really just the most straightforward answer. Obviously it goes a lot deeper
Yeah.
than that, like, and there are certain practices like around shifting your mindset around food and like attacking, well, why do we think it's bad for us, and is
Yes.
that the actual truth, right? Like, and looking at, well, because usually as well, like with food rules, it's like societal, or it might be something that you've seen modeled with your mom or like with
Mhm,
others around you. So like going, is this a belief that I actually want to believe? Like, do I actually want to feel guilty eating this
mhm,
food? If no, and most of the times it's no, because you obviously enjoy that food, then
mhm,
it's like, how can we loosen that belief, right?
mhm.
Why is this not true? And finding all of the evidence to um support, I guess, our new belief, which is I can have this and still
Mhm.
be healthy and still be a good person and still, be
Yeah,
happy in my body. Yeah.
that's so true. I think as a whole, relationship with food is exactly what you said. Where have you come up with this belief that it's bad for you? Like if it makes you
Yeah.
happy when you eat it, then eat it. Why do
Yeah.
you want to stop eating it if it makes you happy?
Yeah.
It's like
It's like,
societal norm.
why am I,
Can't eat ice cream every
yeah, like,
night.
why am I a bad person for just liking ice cream? Like,
Yeah,
what am I making eating ice cream mean about me?
yeah.
You know? And once you like, usually when you attack or when you like attack that belief, you're like, oh, hang on a sec.
Mm,
I was just told I should be feeling guilty. Like, I
yeah.
don't actually care.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything about me. It
Hmm.
doesn't change a thing about me, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the analogy of one quote unquote bad meal isn't
Mm.
going to do anything, just like one workout isn't going to make you fit and
Yeah.
strong. It's exactly the same thing.
And I think that's the thing as well. Like, we need to shift away from like bad and good foods, right? It's
Mhm.
like there is no bad or good foods. Like, if I were to ask you to define what is a bad food, you wouldn't have a set of like criteria.
True.
Like, there's not a definitive list of criteria
Yeah.
that defines a bad food, right? There's foods that are more nutritious or less
Mhm.
nutritious and like help us function better. And I think that's the important thing as well. Like, balance feels like everything needs to be good all the time,
Yeah.
right? But balance is, in terms of life, it's actually more of a flow, right? Like, depending on like different areas of your life, you're going to have slightly more nutritious foods depending on what's available in your environment. And if
Yeah.
you're out, naturally, you're not going to have a basket of apples in a
Mhm.
restaurant that you can just
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
So it's like just understanding that life is never going to be one or the other. It's
Mhm.
always like you're sliding up and down the spectrum. The most important thing is like you're taking care of your health overall, which falls outside of just that one meal that you're having out.
Mhm.
So yeah, like when
Yeah.
you can see it from that perspective, I think that helps a lot.